Well guys, it's mid-October and it's starting to get cold out, so what I did is I cleared out the driveway, put the bucket over there, or put the loader over there I should say, and I cleared out the garage because I'm going to start working on this inside the garage before I go to work. It'll be my morning routine, that way I can get this thing ready to rock. This is a Ford 2110. I got a bunch of previous videos on it, and what I'm going to do in this one is split it in half. Well, if you're going to do something dangerous, might as well have a beer in your hand, you know? A little scary. All right, I'm going to kick this 4x out of the way, and then I'm going to jump on the tractor and try to drive it in the garage. Whoa! 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 Good thing I got my Crocs on. Alright, I think that's good. Man, she looks good with a stone on her. Jeez. So I got to split this tractor in half, and what I'm going to do is really split it right here from the engine and the bell housing. I've split plenty of tractors in my career before, and I've done it with 2 floor jacks. I've always wanted to have my own tractor splitting frame, and I always wanted to make my own. And I decided, you know what, today's the day. So if I'm going to split this tractor in half, I'm going to do it right, and I'm going to build my own tractor splitting frame first. If you guys like this type of splitting frame, let me know, and I can make you some and ship them out to you. These 6-inch casters are big. They might be too big. I'm welding the fucking things anyway. So what I think I'm going to do is I want to rip a channel right down here, a big channel, like a 2 1/4 inch channel to accommodate that jack. So the jack is, let's see here. So this here is 24 inches. 24. So 24 inches divided by 2 is 12. And that jack, that bracket on the jack is 2 1/4. So 2.25 divided by 2 is 1 1/8 plus 12. Plus 12 is 13 1/8. Okay. 13 1/8. And then 12 minus 1.25 is 10 3/4. Okay. Fuck it, let's send it. So I'm gonna let this thing eat, and I'm gonna try to take it down to the x-axis to 10 3/4. So let me undo my jib lock and let this thing travel. We're going to do some vertical welding here, and when you do vertical welding, you want to go smooth but fast, if that makes sense. Otherwise, you're going to be dripping all over the place. So let's do some vertical welding, and I'll show you what that looks like. All right, we just finished that one too, and You can see I stacked the beads a little better. You know, I was grouping them, but still could have done a little better job, but it'll hold. So I just finished welding the jack on this thing, and I'm okay with it. You know, it's not the best, but you know, everything looks all right. So, but the next step is going to be welding the other jack this way with the two mounting plates on either side, so that way I can hook it up to the tractor. So with that being said, I need to decide what am I going to do with this plate. You know, I know what I did on my drawing, but I'm trying to think of reality here, and that's what I got to figure out. So whatever, I'll come up with something. So in order to make my little design work, I really want this to be 12 inches wide, and then I was going to put my plates on because that should be able to accommodate just about all the tractors. Let me think about this to do this right. Ideally, I want to hook that in and weld it, and in order to do that properly, I'm gonna have to just cut this section out. Now how the fuck am I gonna do that? I wonder if I could use a pipe cutter. I wonder if I could use a pipe cutter and cut this lip off. The only thing was that there's this keyway, so I might have to make my own keyway. But I would like to, it would be cool to cut this lip off. Let me think about that. This seems to be working pretty good, surprisingly. Isn't that hilarious? When this thing first dropped, I was like, what the fuck? But look, this thing isn't that long. So I can't go out terribly far. Huh. So I'm going to cut this off, take the foot out, take this little shoulder off, and then put this all the way in and see when it stops. And then I got to take a look at where the screw anchor is, and then I got to trim it perfectly and then fit this in there. I kind of feel like this is hokey, but it makes sense in my brain. Okay, so I cut off that foot, so now this can slide off. And you can see how it had this indented keyway, so they must have just pressed this keyway in. So I'll probably gonna have to figure out something very similar, because otherwise you can spin, and we don't want that. But I need to see if I can get to this little mark that I want to get to, because I'm curious. Because as I crank this in, this is going to push out. So let me crank this in and let's see what we got. Okay, see that screw? Look at that. Okay, so that's bottomed out. That's as far as I can go. And let's get the flashlight here. So this screw, okay, so we're in good shape actually. So this thing's hollow all the way up to like here. And pretty much when I crank this thing out, it just pushes it all the way down. Now we don't need to go that far. Like I said, we're only going like 12 to 16 inches. So the top of this thing, so I got 9.5. So let's just say I got 9 inches to fuck around with. So that thing's right about here. Okay. So the top of that screw's about here. Right? So I'm going to be at 12, let's say, right? And if I want to go out to 18 inches, I'm going to go out 6 inches. So 6 inches. Whoa. We're right there. So to prevent this from moving, what I'm going to do is cut a slot right through here. And then I'm going to punch this down on one side, punch it down the other side. That way I'm like folding it. And that's going to be my new keyway. And then I'll just weld this in real quick so it looks nice. It does work well. And I actually bent it in, welded it in, and I got this nice like huggy going on here on this thing. So it rocks out and she bangs in. At least it works. I'm cutting the handle off because I'm going to thread this portion of the handle and put a bolt on there. That way when you're on the side of the tractor, you just crank it out with your gun instead of this handle, because the handle's going to hit the tractor. Okay, what size is this? 0.493, so okay, so we'll do a 1/2 inch. So what I'm looking at here is, I was thinking about threading this, but the dimension of the rod is not going to work for threading it. But I have this 15/16 nut that's going to fit damn near perfect. I'm going to get my stick welder and I'm going to fill the fuck out of this and fill this in. And then I'm bringing it on the mill it clean, and then it'll look like it's factory. She got hot. A lot of people say lazy. I like to use the word efficient. So I'm making this for the efficient guy. So ideally, if you're like me, you want to get it done fast. Put the bolt on. Look at that. That's exactly what we're going to do. I like that. So the next thing I'm going to have to do is I want to keep this so I can weld this to the other jack, but I need to change the orientation of this. I need to rotate this 90 degrees this way. So I'm going to cut this off, and then weld it back on just this way. Eight inches. Let's weld it. That's that. Just finished machining these guys, so let's fit them. Oh shit, that'll fit perfect. Hell yeah. I like that a lot. And I got them wide, so if you're going to a smaller tractor with a smaller loader or smaller bell housing, to wider to a bigger bell housing. Or you can just shift the plates left and right. Man, we're getting somewhere. So I'm going to have these plates on either side like so. And I got to think about that because I don't want this to be in the way of anything. It shouldn't be. Interesting. Well, this little contraption I had to make just to get it level, and I think I got it on both planes. I think. I took my jack stand handles, lined them up, and then I got these two pieces of wood together. And I think I got it like them in. So I'm going to tack it up top. I'm going to tack it on the side actually, then I'll tack it on the other side. I'm just going to fuck them all up. So this is pretty much it. So I got the base here, and the top is hooked in with a pin, so you can just pull the pin out, disassemble it if you need. And you got the height, which is adjustable. And these jacks are rated for 5,000 pounds. Gonna have to lube it up, but I think we're pretty much done. I'm happy with it. So I'm gonna see if this tractor frame will work, and see if I can split this tractor in half. Okay. So far, so good. All right, let's do this one. So we gotta bring it in, right? It's pretty good. Okay. Let me secure the other side, but we're floating here. Okay, frame is on. Man, I'm a little nervous. Let's try to split it. All right, on to this last one. It's loose. All right, I put a little pressure underneath the engine, and I got one bolt left. It's a 14. I don't know why they did a 14 at the top there. It says a 14 here and a 17 there. Now, if I have the pressure done right, so when I say done right, you need a lot, you want pressure in the center here. And by applying pressure in the center and just having this level here, it's going to cause this to pop open, which is what you want, because opening up any other way is a pain in the ass. So add pressure in the center where the loader brackets are, more pressure than what's on the engine, and it should pop open. Whoa! Look at that, she popped. Let's be careful. Whoa. All right, we got lucky there. All right, so it popped open at the top pretty good. And the center. Yep. Got a little bit of space here. So, all right, I think we're looking okay. I'm nervous. I am nervous. I chalk the front wheels, and I'm going to push back on this here, pulling the tractor apart until the input shaft and the clutch are showing. Whoa. It's actually pulling apart real easy. I'm fucking nervous. I am nervous. I'm nervous because I got all this weight on my fucking jack that I just made when I was half loaded. I'm going to jack it up just a hair more. As I'm jacking it, it's walking forward. Christ. Almost lost my head. Alright, let's walk it back. Oh yeah. She's coming. Oh. What's something stepped down? Well, I guess the whole world's watching in the event I fuck something up. Using Milwaukee as a wheel chalk. Oh, the input shaft's completely out. So it's actually just sitting. Alright, so she's good. So we can roll it all the way back. Whoa. I'm hitting a hydraulic line, so I gotta push on this side. Okay. One more push. The tractor splitting frame worked. It worked fucking awesome, which is great. I've done it before with just a jack, and it's super hairy. I really don't recommend it. But everything worked out pretty good. I got this one hydraulic line that's a pain in the ass. Roll it back. But, like I said, I got the tractor supported in the front, and the tractor splitting frame holding in the back. So that worked out really good. So overall, I'm really happy with how this tractor stand worked out. It's able to take this load of the tractor. It was adjustable in the width and in the height, just like I designed it to be. And I mean, it bolted right up and got the job done. And this is a lot more safer and easier than using two jack stands. And I really don't recommend you do it. But this worked out great. Some improvements I would do on this. Again, this is the first iteration, the first design. And in my opinion, nothing ever goes perfect on your first design. So if I were to make this again, and I'm going to, I would use smaller casters. I use 6-inch casters because I wanted it easy to move this thing, and it was super easy. But having a 6-inch caster takes up quite a bit of height room here. So personally, I'm going to probably drop down to like a 4-inch caster. That way I get 2 inches. The other thing I'm probably going to do is I'm actually going to cut a little bit off the height of this jack as well. I probably cut like another inch or 2 off. That way I have 3 to 4 inches of additional clearance for smaller tractors. Besides that, I think that's probably all I would do. This was a great experience for me. It was a great learning experience. Especially me learning my mill more. So without further ado, there's really only one more thing left to do, and that's to badge it. Look at that. Damn.